Welcome to the Trust Factor Radio, bringing you interviews and insights to unlock the power of the subconscious mind to create authority, credibility, and trust. With your host, the Authority Architect, and best-selling author, Neil Howe.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today my special guest is Jon Hart, and he is the owner of Hart SEO. Hart SEO is a web design internet marketing company located in Jacksonville, Florida, and Jon created Hart SEO to help new entrepreneurs succeed quickly and loves to see small businesses be able to compete with the bigger, more established competition. Jon Hart is only 23 years old and is currently a student attending Edward Waters College on a basketball scholarship. Well, congratulations for that, Jon, and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. Obviously, you're still young, but there's a lot of young people that are doing some great things in SEO. So what got you started in SEO? What drew you to this industry?
Honestly, a Craigslist ad and me needing a job back about 4 years ago led me to SEO. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I needed a job, and I looked to Craigslist, and I took a job with an SEO company, and they showed me the ropes, and I learned everything I could with them for about a year and a half. I took about a half a year break, and then I started my own company.
Excellent. Well, that's definitely a great place to start. Understanding the foundation of SEO is very important, rather than, just getting the kind of tips and tricks that you will get through these different emails that I'm sure come into your inbox hundreds of times a day. And, if you're a local business owner, I know you know exactly what I'm saying. There's a lot of SEOs out there that are just sending out tons of emails trying to get your business. But tell me a little bit about the kind of clients that you serve then, Jon. You said you like the small business clients.
Yeah, I love working with small business owners. Something about just helping a new entrepreneur really take off their business. And sometimes I see my clients do better numbers than me, and that's okay. I just love seeing new entrepreneurs be successful.
Well, there's a lot of businesses out there. The small business is the backbone of America. There's so many, especially in a big city like Jacksonville. What kind of businesses have you been working with so far?
I don't have any particular business that I work with. It's all different industries. I have some in the medical marijuana field, a lot of nonprofits that I've gotten in touch with, some individuals that just wanted to get their name out there just for their own brand. I've helped with web design and stuff like that. Photography businesses, just a ton of different industries, really.
Excellent. And that medical marijuana industry is definitely one that is up and coming. Now, Florida hasn't legalized yet, have they?
Yeah, they actually have legalized. They haven't. I'm not sure if they've legalized actual smoking of the marijuana, but they do have vape and other medicinal alternatives. Okay,
great. Well, that is definitely one industry that has a lot of money in it, and there's certainly a lot of others. When people come to you, what are they looking for? What kind of problems are they having?
A lot of times they're just trying to figure out how to get started. Hart SEO is located in Beaver Street Enterprise Center, which is just like a hub for a bunch of new small businesses. So a lot of my clients come from there and other referrals that I get. But most of these companies are brand new. They don't know how to get a website started or how to make that website found by potential clients online. And then they find out about me, and I help them get there.
Excellent. And, what do they need to know, or what things do they need in place in order to be found online?
Well, obviously, first off, in 2018, it's very important to just have a very professional looking website, something where when potential clients get to there, they become into actual clients, something that will sell. And then the SEO to be found online for those keywords in their industry.
So there's two major aspects there. The first part is actually being found. So when somebody's doing a search, keyword search, as we call it, they have to be found first, but then they also have to take some action once they get to the page, and that is more conversion. Let's take one at a time. What kind of things do you do to help them get found?
So a lot of my internet marketing comes with business listings, making sure that all the information online matches. Maybe we don't get a lot of referrals, like people clicking through the business listings, but the overall power that comes from the listing will help it move up on Google and other search engines. I think that's
explain why that is, because telling a business owner that they need to be on all these business directories, might not make sense to them. But why is it that you do that?
The main reason I do it is because the way search engines work is they recognize or they have algorithms to find out how valid of a company you are. So when you're on every single business directory, everything is listed the same. Basically, for Google and other search engines, it's like someone's talking about you here, 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 and here, and they're all saying the same thing. So it just makes you look more legitimate, and it brings your website power.
Okay, excellent. So other than the business listings, what else do you do to help them get found?
Social media is a huge key as well. Some social media is more for interaction with clients, and some other social media accounts are also like the business listings, where you just want to be on it and have your website linked back on those profiles, just so you can get that power.
And explain power. What does that mean?
Okay, so when I'm talking about power, I'm talking about like domain authority and page authority. When you are filling out all these things, you get a domain authority and page authority. The page authority is for the actual website page that you're looking up, and then domain authority is everything within that. So your about page, everything combined. So when you're talking about power with this, a lot of the companies on the first page I would say it's in order of your domain authority, almost, and how long you've been relevant as well. And so the domain authority just basically shows how much power your website has. It's a scale of 1 to 100, and you can check your domain authority online. You can just do a domain authority check. If you type that into Google, a couple of sites will come up that you can use to check that your overall power.
And the sites with the most power generally rank first for their main keywords?
Yeah, definitely. There's obviously a lot more to making sure that Google recognizes you for certain keywords. But if you have the power and you're pointing at the right keywords, then you'll be listed at the top.
Great. So we've got the business listings, we've got the social media. What else do you do to help them get found?
All right, so those are the two main things, and then I have a couple other secrets that I don't really want to expose out there that pushes my clients ahead of everybody else.
So where do you want your clients to appear? Is it in the organic listings? You want them on the map?
All right, so Matt on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Right when you click or search for any keyword, the map comes up first. So map is very, very important. A lot of people do stop on the map, and other people look at the map and keep going. It just depends on the person, but I do think the map is the most important. And then organically as well. I'm not just going to try to go for the map only. I'm going to try to make sure that they're at the top of the map and at the top of the organic listing as well.
So as much real estate on the page as possible. Does that include paid? Would you advertise a paid marketing campaign as well as trying to get on the map and organic?
Yeah, it just depends about the client. If they want to put in a further investment and have me run their Google Ads page or their Facebook ads or Yelp ads, whatever the case may be, I do that. I do pride myself on getting people listed highly organically without paying any extra money. But if certain clients are trying to get the phone ringing right away, then that's what I do recommend, is doing something like Google Ads.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, talk to me about once people start hitting that website, how important is it to have that continual traffic coming to the website in the first place?
Yeah. So the continued traffic is huge. Just because that's part of the algorithm with Google, is to see how long you're on the website, how many people are visiting the website. That's another way you get your power. And so basically, when you get up to like the first or second page, they're seeing how many people are clicking on you and how long they're staying there. And so that's all part of the algorithm for search engines.
Okay, so once they get on the page, what should you have on a good page that is going to keep them on the page and stop them bouncing off?
I think the eye appeal is the biggest thing. If your website is early 2000 or later, it probably is going to look a little not so modern, and people might think it's a little outdated, and they might click out of it and try to find something more to date. So eye appeal is huge, and then just content as well. The way the headers and stuff like that pop out, make the client read into it, and the longer they stay on there, the better.
So are there any specific things that every web page needs?
I definitely think that every website should have a phone number listed at the top if you're looking for clients, or if you're looking for a phone call and you're confident on if you get a phone call then you're going to sell it, then a phone number right at the top in an obvious spot is always a good thing.
Now, with websites today, and I think with Google's new algorithm as well, they are putting mobile first. So their mobile search is going to be their primary search that they use. How many of these local business companies don't have a responsive mobile-ready website?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've worked with a couple of businesses where they needed an upgrade. So they came to me looking for a responsive website, because a good percentage of people are looking up stuff on their phone instead of through the laptop. And so basically what we do is we just look at what they have and then give them a template, say this is what we can do, and make it responsive for them.
Mm-hmm. And is Google going to start penalizing companies if their websites aren't mobile responsive?
I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if they can read into that completely, but I do know that if I'm a customer and I'm looking for something and I click on something and it's not mobile responsive, I might not stay as long. And like I said, that could generate your power. If someone just clicks in and clicks out real quick, that could hurt you if they go back in and click on someone else.
Mm-hmm. So as far as the actual content on the page, is there what should the page say? If it's a home page, what kind of message are you trying to get across in order to have a potential customer client take action?
Okay, so I think it's important to have really good content that will turn a customer into a client. But just as much so as to make sure that you have your keywords in that content, or key phrases. In fact, if people can't find you in the first place, then you won't have the client in the first place. So I think it's just as important to have keywords and key phrases within that content so that Google recognizes it and can put you into that search result.
Mm-hmm. All right. As far as reputation, talk to me a little bit about that, because I know reviews are something that a lot of people talk about.
Okay, so you're referring to like customer reviews, like for clients?
Yeah, customer reviews. I know on the map that is one of the big things that people see and look
Yep.
at all the time. So tell me how important that is to get lots of reviews.
Yeah, so a lot of reviews helps, and then a lot of good reviews really help. So if you're a client or a potential customer and you're on Google and you're typing in the keyword and you go to the maps and you see 3 companies right off the bat. You see one at the very top. Say the top one has the least or the worst review, so it's like a 3 out of 5, and then the next 2 are 5 stars. You're more likely to skip the first one and go to the second or the third one, just automatically, because you're thinking, oh, they have the better reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's plays a big part in a company's success. With Google, it's kind of easier to get reviews and that stay up. With Yelp and stuff like that, it's really hard. They have a weird algorithm, and for my company in particular, I've had 9 unsuccessful reviews from clients that they're there, but they don't recommend them, and therefore I have no stars on Yelp, which is unfortunate. I talk to them all the time. I hate Yelp.
I don't know if there's any local business owner that I have talked to that actually likes Yelp. It seems very much a pay-to-play kind of platform. And if you're paying them, they'll give you all those good reviews and they'll make sure that their website is up there, which it is. It's a very powerful website, and a lot of people go on there. But unfortunately, they'll just show those bad reviews and none of the good ones. So that's never good. So what are some of the misconceptions? What are some of the misconceptions about SEO, especially for a local business?
I think the biggest misconception is that for SEO is people don't really know like how people rank highly on Google. I find out that a lot of my clients don't even know like why things are ranked a certain way, and which is kind of good for me, because then they just let me do my thing and they don't really like try to make their own listings or anything like that. I can just do what I do. And but for web design, I think the biggest misconception for web designing is how expensive it really is to have a good website up. I work with small businesses all the time, and I keep my prices very, very low just so that I can work with these small businesses that are just trying to get started, and they come to me and they're like, "It's really that much?" And that's how I know if they're a for real client or not. If they think a $200 website is a lot, then I don't know. Sometimes they're just misconceived by like Wix and stuff, which gives you a free website, but you don't have your own domain name. But I think that's a huge misconception. Like $200 is cheap. Like if you go to New York or something like that, I've seen companies have prices starting at $1,600. So.
Yeah, and even that, it all depends obviously on what you're looking for. And I think a misconception, like you said, with Wix and these GoDaddy websites is that, people can do it themselves, or they can hand it off to an assistant in the office that, knows how to do it a little bit. But ultimately, what are you getting? You're not getting a professional, and you're still paying for time, whether it's your own time or somebody else's time. And to try and learn that yourself and put something quality together is not necessarily advisable. But, what about some of the myths? You hire an SEO company like yourself, John, what are the expectations?
I feel like a lot of clients are like, okay, get me on that first page tomorrow. Like, I feel like that's another big misconception. Like, it definitely takes time, especially if you do it right. It should take at least 3 months for your company to jump to that, maybe not even the first page, to the second page, just depending on the industry, how new it is, and how many established businesses there are. And the way I work with the White Hat SEO is going to take time, and every month you're going to see better and better results. It's not going to dwindle. It's just going to keep getting better and better.
So, the expectation is to see results in a few months. And, once you are positioned up there and getting found on the first page of Google, what kind of upkeep are you talking about to make sure that you stay there?
Just making sure that we stay relevant, make sure that we're keeping up with new business listings, new social media sites, just making sure that we keep all those business listings that we already set up, make sure that when clients click on our page, that they're staying a long time, seeing those conversions as well. Because once you're up there, it's kind of hard to leave unless you're not converting people onto those pages.
Mm-hmm. So what do you need to continue to do? Do you need to keep adding content to your website? And talk to me about backlinking. Isn't that important too?
Backlinking is very important as well. And that's part of my secret recipe of how to get websites to be pushed up. But I think it's just as important. It's like another step as far as the business listings and social media. It's another step to getting up there and staying up there.
Awesome. Well, Jon, give me some examples of companies that you have worked with. I know you said you have a lot of startups, but what kind of problems did they have, or where were they when they first came to you? What were you able to do for them? How long did it take? What was the outcome?
All right. So let's start with Winnie's Project Hope. It's a nonprofit in Jacksonville. They basically take younger age individuals around America on trips just to see African American heritage on different spots, like in New Orleans. I think that's where they went this year. And it's just a nonprofit to let the younger generation know where they came from, their heritage and stuff like that. They came to me. They had a great website already, but the web developer that they worked with wasn't answering their calls and not updating stuff. And so they came to me, and I told them, don't worry about it. I'll recreate this website for you. It looks great. And then I'll make sure I keep it up for you. And I've been helping them ever since.
Good stuff. And what does that do? Does that just get them more traffic? Are you able to do SEO for them, or are you just monitoring their website design?
Yeah. So for them, I'm just doing the website design. They didn't really need SEO as much as more they're going to reach out to people and they're going to go to the website. They didn't need to find potential people online. It is just more of an informational site that they're going to send to different individuals in the community so that they know what they're about. It's not for someone to really find online. So we didn't do anything SEO related for them.
And that's one point. There's a lot of businesses out there that get a lot of traffic from referrals, from past business, but they still want to come to a website that looks good and is going to convert. And people go to find phone numbers and driving directions. So exactly. It's important to have all those different things on a website. Well, Jon, I really appreciate you giving us all some information here. If there's one last thing that you'd like to leave with the audience, maybe something we haven't talked about yet, or one important point that you want to reiterate, what might that be?
I guess I just want to reiterate the importance of having the keywords in the homepage. I've seen a lot of websites that look amazing, but they don't have any keywords on that homepage. Like maybe they do, but it's not a lot of them. I think that's one of the most important things, is to have the eye appeal, but also to have those keywords on that homepage, so that Google knows what you're going after.
Right. I mean, having a great design is all fine and well, but the site actually has to be functional, and it has to be found for something, and then it has to have a clear path in order for somebody to take an action. If it doesn't have those things and it just looks pretty, well, you might just be looking at it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, John. Well, if somebody wants to reach out to you, what is the best way that they can do that?
You can visit my website at www.hartseo.com, or you can reach out to me by phone number 904-234-0158.
Excellent stuff. Well, Jon Hart from Hart SEO, thank you very much for being my guest on the Trust Factor Radio today.
Thank you for having me.
And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to the Trust Factor Radio with Neil Howe. To learn about the resources mentioned in the show and to listen to past episodes, go to thetrustfactorradio.com. To get a copy of the book, The Trust Factor, go to thetrustfactorbook.com. If you are ready to act now and build your authority, credibility, and trust, schedule a consultation with Neil at theauthorityarchitect.com.